Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Khoj Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation continues with the 12th pauri from Jaitsari Mahalla Panjwa, Var Slokanal. 2 sloks and a supporting pauri. The first slok, line by line, followed by the second and the pauri. Slok Tiakat Jalan neh jeev meenang neh tyag chatrik megh mandalah. Tiakat Jalan, forsaking water, neh jeev meenang, the fish cannot survive. Neh tyag chatrik megh mandalah, nor can the rainbird abandon its gaze toward the rain clouds. Baan bedanch kurank nadang, the deer is pierced by the arrow of the hunter's sound. Alabandan kusum basana, the bee is held captive by the fragrance of the flower. Basana, fragrance, kusum, flower, bandana, to be bound. And similarly, having given these examples, the Guru says, Charan kamal ranchit santah, just so, santah, the awakened ones, the mind that is awakened, they are absorbed in the lotus teaching. Charan Kamal, sacred discourse. An na ruchate, an, nothing else, everything else, na ruchate, they are not interested in it. It does not appeal to them. Their inclination is not towards anything except Charana Kamal, which is the wisdom of Naam. Mukh dekho, this is the second salok. Mukh dekho palak chhad aan na deu chit. Mukh dikhaun, actually mukh dikhaun palak chhad aan na deu chit. So mukh dikhaun means showing my face or having seen you. Having seen you, palak chhad, not even for a blink. Palak, not even for a blink. An na deu chit, not even for a blink will I turn my mind elsewhere. Having seen you, in other words, having tasted that wisdom, I wouldn't look elsewhere. Jeevan sangam tis dhani har nanak santah mit. Jeevan sangam, this dhani, life is a union with that master. Har nanak santa mit, the har, that very verdant and alive consciousness, is the true friend of the awakened mind. Now to the pauri, line by line. Jo machli bin paaniye, like a fish without water, kyo jeevan paave, how can it sustain its life? This is obvious to us. Boond vihuna chatriko, kyo kar tripatave? Now he's repeating in support, asking the question, how can the rainbird be satisfied without that single raindrop? Naad kurang keh bedya, sanmukhi uthatave. Pierced by the melody of the sound, the deer rises and runs towards the source, the sound. Pavar lobi The bee is greedy. For what? Kusuma basaka, the fragrance of the flower. And in that greed, in that attachment, apa-bandhava willingly binds itself to that fragrance, to that flower. Tyon, in like manner, tyon, similarly, santajana, awakened minds. The Gurmukh, santajana haripreet hai, have love, attraction for the har, because that is their element. Dekh dars aghave, beholding the vision of the har, meaning living in it, alone satisfies them. So, meen, jal, this is the fish and its element, water. Nad, kurang, the sound and the deer. This connects to the idea of the sabad, acting as a molecular dye, ratya, vidro. It pierces. The deer is captivated by the sabad. Similarly, the awakened mind is captivated by the sabad. It overrides its primal ego survival instincts. Similarly, kusama basana, the bee and the flower's fragrance. This is really the ultimate shift, surrender. The bee voluntarily binds itself to the essence. This is the self-surrender, and that is what the Sant does. Sant, not simply an individual, but actually symbolic of a mind, synonymous with terms like Suhagan and Gurmukh. This is a whole mind consciousness that has successfully integrated with the inner self. That is the Sant. This is used in the plural sense here. So now these verses are using what you might consider classic poetic tropes of Indian literature. You have the fish, the rainbird, the deer, the bee. These are used constantly as metaphors. And each image here, what is it doing? It is capturing a creature that is in a state of total, unconditional attachment to its element. It is an attachment so complete that separation from it is equivalent to death. The fish and the water, the rainbird and the cloud, the deer and melody, the bee and fragrance. So Guru Arjan here is not using these as ornamental metaphors, but these are very precise analogies for the relationship between awakened consciousness, Santa, and the self. As a matter of fact, if you're aware, in the previous pauri, Guruji had declared that without the har, nothing satisfies the devotee, and that all other worldly tastes are now insipid, pike. So you see, he's extending that theme further here. The fish, again, coming back to these examples, it does not choose water. There's another way of looking at it. It does not choose water. As a matter of fact, it is constituted by water. It's made by water. Separation is not merely painful to the fish, it is fatal. So this is the starting point. The relationship between the self and the individual is not optional. It is existential. And then the chatrik will accept only the specific raindrop, swati boond. No other water will satisfy it. And water, in many instances, signifies knowledge. And this is not any other knowledge. This is viveka buddhi. No other knowledge will nourish. Only the sabad, the specific discourse of an enlightener, can actually reorient our minds. Nothing else will work. Similarly, the deer running to the hunter's sound, even at the cost of its life. This is a synonym or a symbolism for the irresistible pull of the sabad, the anahad dhuni. That is how we stop being passive but propulsive towards this sound. And likewise, the bee willingly imprisoning itself in the closing petals of the flower. This is not bondage in the sense that we might understand, but the ecstasy of total absorption. The bee's binding, again, is a self-chosen surrender. And then the culminating line, Tyon sant jana har preet hai, dekh daras aghave. It resolves all of these analogies that have been given. Just as these creatures are constituted by their attachment, so the awakened ones are constituted by the Har Self. Aghave says, fulfillment signals the end of craving. And this is not simply the end of temporary sensory pleasure, but this is permanent fulfillment, which comes from darsana, direct vision of the self. So in the line mukh dekh palak chhad aanand deu chit, mukh dekho, the devotee will not divert attention from the beloved's face for even a blink. So essentially what we are taking away is that the relationship between the self with a capital L, S, and the individual is not a preference. It's a necessity. Without it, we are merely subsisting as if in a dream. In fact, Gurbani says you're dead. For that, discernment is essential. Not all sources will nourish you equally. The chatrik waits only for the right raindrop. Similarly, only the Gur enlightener can quench the thirst. And once you experience this pull, it is irresistible, like the deer running towards the melody. And true devotion then comes through self-surrender, like the bee. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.